All right, we're live. We're recording. This is B. Mays, the commissioner of the LOM. We're calling it the LOM, League of Mediocrity, but LOM for short. So technically, we're all llamas. You guys
Ooh,
like
I
that?
like it. I like it.
And with me right now, we got two members of this prestigious league. We got Tom McVeigh and we got Dylan Horder. Say what's up, guys.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great. What about you, Dylan?
What's going on, B Mays? How are you? Appreciate you having me on.
Just chilling, ready for football to start. Less than a week, so we're
Got
pretty
some
pumped.
college games on tonight, man.
Oh yeah, heck yeah. So getting
Scotty?
ready for that. All right, let's just get straight into it. So some big news broke with a few running backs who were projected to be the starters of their team. Let's start off with Leonard Fournette. And how does this impact his fantasy relevance? Well, he got released from the Jaguars and he got picked up by Tampa Bay. So what do you guys think about that?
Well,
Man.
I guess I could start. It's going to be a really difficult situation in Tampa Bay, just with their crowded backfield. I mean, you got LaShawn McCoy in the backfield, Ronald Jones, who they also call Rojo. So it's going to be a three-headed monster there. Although Leonard Fournette is clearly the favorite. But it's going to be interesting to see who competes with carries. You would think that Leonard Fournette would probably get some of those first down carries, but then the other two running backs are going to mix in. Probably LaShawn McCoy on third down, maybe Rojo on second down. So it can be interesting to see.
I thought the same thing with Fournette, but Bruce Arians came out. He said Rojo is our guy still. So I don't know what to make of that. He's been saying that all offseason. Who knows if he'll really stick to it. But being the Rojo owner, I can only hope that's the case. What about you, Tom? What do you think about the news?
Yeah, man, it's a scary situation for me. I mean, it's kind of just a picture of how the league's going as a whole. You're not really getting those workhouse backs anymore. So you're playing fantasy, gambling every week basically. Like, are you going to pick the right guy? Are you going to find the guy that gets the end zone? So
Right. There's too many running back by committees.
Have any of them. How about that? I'm fine staying away from that backfield.
Yeah. Especially in redraft leagues. I drafted Jones in one league and then that happened. I'm like, nope, not doing it again. And we also got the release yesterday of Adrian Peterson. Obviously, Hall of Famer. What do you guys think?
I mean, I'll go first. Just from a personal perspective, I had him in one of our redrafts, and I was really counting on his corpse to fall across the goal line a couple times. But I mean, he'll probably get picked up somewhere, and he'll, get you that 4 to 8 points most weeks. So I mean, not a huge impact, but definitely bigger if you're the Gibson owner. I feel like that's good for you there.
Yeah, I mean the Washington football team is moving in a different direction. It's probably for Adrian Peterson's sake that he get out of there. That's a backfield that I would stay away from. And kind of like Tom was saying with Tampa Bay, the Washington football team is not a backfield I want right now. And so for Adrian Peterson's personal sake, it's probably best that he's gone. But he probably provided great leadership in that locker room, which they'll be lacking now, especially with the younger guys that they have.
Yeah, so they have – oh, sorry, I'm echoing somehow. But anyway, they have – who do they have? Antonio Gibson, and do they have Bryce Love too?
They do have Bryce
Love. That's a very young backfield. And, I mean, I'm all over Gibson in redraft, honestly. He only had 33 carries in college, which I think is crazy, but he looks like an absolute monster. So I'm like, I mean, if they trust him enough to release a legend like Adrian Peterson, I'm willing to go for it, especially if it is like the 5th round or 6th round.
And it's not like Peterson was just like, hanging on. He was getting like first team reps up until the day they released him, which is the weird thing about it,
Yeah. So they did do it a day early from all the other cuts to like kind of make it thank you for all you've done for us. So that is nice. Let's see where he goes. That kind of makes me worry about other free agents like, who is it? Devonta Freeman. Like, I thought he was going to get signed by somewhere, but if Peterson's there, I might go with him other than Freeman.
Right.
All right, there's our news section for our thing. So let's go over to the main part of this episode. We're gonna grade each team with a grade A through F, A plus through F. Um, honestly, I don't have any Fs. Do you guys have any Fs? No.
I do
Okay, so
No
not.
it's gonna be like A through D probably. But how about we go with Tom, choose a team, and we'll just start from there.
All right, well, I'll just go with the first team on my list, and that was my own team, actually.
Of course it was.
Hey, you muted yourself. All right,
All right, I gave myself a B, which I thought was pretty fair to myself. I have a pretty strong core of players. We're talking Lamar, not Mark Andrews, Lamar, Saquon Barkley, some other guys. But I really need a rookie wide receiver to step up. I'm kind of thin there. So, yeah, that's kind of my thing. And my favorite player I got, Van Jefferson, man. Go Gator. He's going to dominate. He is fast.
he is the Florida guy. I wouldn't expect anything else. But yeah, I gave you a B as well. I gave you a B as well. I like Saquon Barkley and Lamar Jackson. That's going to be that's going to be a lot of points each week. Yeah, I liked your team. So like I said, I gave you a B. I didn't really grade for future, but you do have a lot of rookie wide receivers. So that can definitely help you out in the future too.
Yeah, I got Tom right in there at the C plus B minus range. I think the receivers are a little shaky, but you got Saquon Barkley, you got Lamar Jackson. Those guys are gonna be huge on your team. Obviously, got to have one of the rookies step up between T Higgins, Brandon Ayuk. One of those guys has got to step up, and surely they will. But that's a position group right now on the team that I'm a little shaky about. And then you got George Kittle, right? George Kittle is elite in the
Oh yeah.
tight end corps. So yeah, I love that pick. I love that pick, Tom. He's going to be great.
Yeah, I feel good. It's a good mix of future and right now putting up points. So a lot of directions I can go.
Hey Dylan, how do you feel about his Tyler Lockett right there?
I love Tyler Lockett, but it's going to be interesting this year because the Seahawks got a loaded receiving corps. They just re-signed Josh Gordon. You got Philip Dorsett in the building. You got Paul Richardson is now in the building. And so you have DK Metcalf, who is just an absolute stud. So it's really going to be interesting. Tyler Lockett is Russell's guy, but we'll have to see how that shakes out.
Yeah, I agree. I like Lockett. I like how you have a chance of being number one at 3 positions. So you get like Saquon has a chance. CMC has it locked up pretty much, but
Yeah.
Saquon, if CMC gets hurt, he definitely has a good chance too. So I really do like that. All right, Dylan, you're up next. What team do you want to grade?
Let's roll over to Squid's team.
Right.
This is an intriguing team, I think. He's got Dak Prescott at quarterback, Alvin Kamara, who's currently sitting out. I got him right now in there in that B minus range on this team. His lineup is looking a little interesting. He's got Terry McLaurin, DJ Moore. You got Golden Tate in there, Hunter Henry. I think the one bright spot is Alvin Kamara, but he's currently holding out from what I understand. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that contract situation. Then you got David Montgomery in there, who's going to be out for a couple weeks. So injuries right off the bat may hurt Squid.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I gave him a C plus. Kamara's back from what I hear. He is back. He had an epidural for some back pain management, and that's why he was gone, I guess. I don't know why the media got twisted. But he is probably looking for a bigger contract. I think he's still on his rookie contract, but that's
Isn't he in the last year of his contract? I'm pretty sure he'll be a free agent next year.
Right. So it's pretty easy to get that mixed up. And David Montgomery, he is hurt. I do like Terry McLaurin, DJ Moore, younger receivers who have solid options. They're the number ones of their team. So, and I specifically like Mark Andrews and Hunter Henry. He's been good before, and they're both still pretty young. So he'll have tight ends for a long shot. So I gave him a C plus. What about you, Tom?
So I guess I was the hater on this team. This was my one and only D, as in Delta. I really just didn't think there was much on that team outside of Kamara. I don't buy the hype on Dak. he has number one wide receivers, but they have not great quarterbacks, and that's the other half of the equations. I mean, McLaurin's good, but you got Haskins on the other end, and he hasn't shown me it yet. So I do like the Dobbins pick. I think having any guy that has the potential of being a number one running back on Baltimore is going to be huge, but I just didn't see it, man, when I was looking through his roster.
Yeah, I like that bright spot too. But yeah, not I wouldn't say the best team. Definitely not the best team in the league. But
I would say it's very dependent on Kamara. If he re-signs with the Saints next year, that's going to be a good sign. But if he goes to another team, then I really don't know what to expect out of him.
yeah, he picked a lot of unknown guys too, like Carry On in the backfield. We don't know what he's gonna do. Darrell Henderson, we don't know with the running back by committee there too. So yeah, that's Squiddy's team. We can move on. The next one I have on my list is Alex Wellman. So I'll let you guys pull that one up. For Alex, I gave him a B. Honestly, I used a system to help me grade the teams. So they're not necessarily mine. But what I do like right off the back is Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon. That's a very solid running back core. Both are probably going to be running back once if no injuries occur. So that's what I like best about the team. He does have Debo. He's going to be out for this week, but he is still young, so he has future relevance. Yeah, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I'll jump in. Wellman's loaded up on the Browns, which I think is very interesting. I'm honestly not a fan of OBJ on the Cleveland Browns. I just don't see it there, but that's one spot that immediately comes to mind when I look at Wellman's team. I got him slotted in there at a C+. I think it's a team that is great on paper and has potential, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens. He's dealing with some injuries as well. He's got Debo Samuel, which is a great pick from the San Francisco 49ers, but he is going to be out for the season. So that's something that Wellman's going to have to deal with right off the bat. But yeah, Dalvin Cook is solid there, and Joe Mixon, God bless. I hope he does something for you this year, Wellman, because Lord knows he didn't do anything for me last year, and it was tough. So it's just going to depend on what that Bengals offense does this year.
So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of echo what you guys said. I gave him a C. I love his starting running backs. His wide receivers I don't love, just not a lot of guaranteed points. And I put down as a negative too many Browns. So I mean, we're really all thinking the same thing there. I do love the Stafford pick. It's only a little bit of a homer, but MVP baby, and my dogs are barking. So apologies.
It's all good, man. He does. I think he has a lot of sleepers on his bench, though. I like Bryan Edwards a lot, even though he's a rookie, and I like Anthony Miller. So if he does have some depth there, if obviously he has to put Debo on his bench, but yeah. All right, Tom, how about you pick a team now?
All right, let's go to Curcio. So I gave him a B+. I thought he had some really strong starters, and he's built to win right now. There's no real obvious weaknesses in his starting lineup. You got Watson at quarterback, Chubb, Jones, Evans, Keenan Allen, Tyler Higbee. That's just a really strong team. Not sure about his future potential, but I mean, championships are forever, And he has Gibson, which we talked about earlier. I love Gibson right now. So.
Yeah, I love his quarterbacks, particularly Deshaun Watson. He's very good and knows what he's doing, and just locked up a new deal this morning, actually. So that's great to hear. And really, I think someone that's going to take a huge step this year is Drew Lock. Really loving that pick. I think that was actually a trade.
It was.
Yeah, that was a trade that he made. He had to give up Drew Brees in a draft pick to pick up Drew Lock. I think that was a little too much.
2 draft picks.
I love Drew Lock. I think that he's going to have a monster year this year with the Broncos. You look at what he's got around him. That's great. Keenan Allen, you just got to watch out for the injuries, but Mike Evans and Keenan Allen are a solid duo at receiver. And Devontae Parker, who's probably going to be a sleeper this year. Contract situation with Aaron Jones is going to be interesting, of course, and then Nick Chubb splitting carries with Kareem Hunt, Toledo's own. We'll have to see how that shakes out, but Nick Chubb is an established guy and had a great year last year.
Yeah, I mean, I gave him a A-. I really love his team too. Antonio Gibson definitely worked out for him. I tried to trade for him when Darius Geis was released, but it just makes him a lot better now that Peterson's gone too. So he really has no weak spots at all in his lineup starting unless Tyler Higbee does split with Gerald Everett. So yeah, that's the only thing I can see. But I love his team. Like I said, A minus. So yeah, that's a pretty good draft, Curcio. Way to manage your team. Just stick to it. And I think Dylan, you're up. You can choose the team now.
Yeah, next team on my list is actually yours, B Mays. Very intrigued by this team. I gave you an A minus overall grade. I think really, you look at Derrick Henry is a solid pick. That's a great pick. He's going to be a stud in that Titans run first offense. You got a sleeper pick, Allen Robinson, who's quietly putting up big numbers in Chicago. Will be interesting, I will say, to see what that quarterback situation shakes out with. But you got the man, the Kels. He's a stud, obviously, and Michael Thomas, just an absolute threat on the outside. You got Cam Newton in the lineup right now. I'm very interested to see if that holds true in Week 1. They do have a matchup against the Dolphins, but this will be Cam Newton's first game as a Patriot. I'm very interested to see how that shakes out points wise. But Matt Ryan, solid. Matt Ryan's a solid pick. It's getting a little old though, so B Mays, you got to hope that Gardner Minshew pans out, or else you might be looking for a quarterback here in the second or third year.
What do you think of my team, Tom?
So I got a solid B on your team. I thought your RB1 and wide receiver 1 are super strong, but it falls off a little bit after that for me. I mean, but you can't be strong everywhere. Tight end obviously good. Some negatives I had on your team is you're a cheater because you have Cam Newton, and your underrated thing is commissioner power. So yeah.
Hey, I mean, I would do it for you guys. I'm fair, but okay. I put our league in the system, and it gave me like trades for everything. It said I had the best draft. I am biased to my own team. It said I had the best draft. It was an A plus, and it said I had a 99% chance of making the playoffs. So it with good team management.
So long as you don't have any injuries, I would say yes. But I will say that your bench is set up to tailor to the guys in your lineup, which was a solid strategy.
Yeah, I tried to do that for sure. And I mean, I think my weak spot are the wide receivers, but I mean, I have Michael Thomas.
It would be better if you traded me and Marvin Jones.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it, man.
It'll be definitely interesting to see what happens with David Johnson in Houston,
right.
and see if he can hold up there, and then Rojo, of course, with the situation now.
Yeah, we'll see, and I'm excited to see. But with that, let's move on. I have Trogue next, so if you guys want to pull up his team.
All right.
Me, I gave Trogue a B. Said it had a 75% chance of him making the team. I'm making the playoffs with good team management. He traded up and he got Devontae Adams, which I thought was a good pick. Wide receivers are more valuable in Dynasty, I believe. But he got Clyde Edwards-Helaire late because Damian Williams wasn't out at the time we drafted. So I really like that pick. So that's what drove the B for him, I guess.
Yeah, I also have him in there at a B. Trogue has done a great job lately with making trades, and I appreciate his flexibility. The other day, we actually made a trade, and that was a lot of fun. So appreciate you for that, Trogue. But he's got Drew Brees via trade. Devontae Adams came via trade, and you got some other guys in here that are stepping up. I like the Melvin Gordon pick. I know that it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him and Philip Lindsay, but Denver, I really think Denver takes a big step this year in the right direction. So I'm a fan of that. And then Clyde Edwards-Helaire, obviously that's big time with Damian Williams deciding to opt out. I thought he was going to be the guy there anyway, despite Damian Williams' presence, but this is just a chance for him to break out on a Super Bowl contending and, coming off a win at the Super Bowl. So, Calvin Ridley in there, and then you got Devin Singletary. It'd be interesting to see what happens with Singletary. They got Zach Moss in there, a third-round pick now. So, it'll be interesting to see if he gets the bulk of the carries. That might be a problem if he does it for Trogue, but the bench is looking solid as well. He's got backup quarterbacks, Derek Carr and Jared Goff. Those two are a little bit more shaky, but we'll have to see what happens with them.
I had him right at the cusp of like B plus A minus. It really just comes down to his running back room, man. If Clyde pans out like they say he is and Melvin Gordon takes over, he could be one of the best teams in the league. Like his bench a lot. He has a good mix of youth and win now. I feel like quarterback could be a problem for him down the road, but that's for down the road. And I
Yeah.
do like the Singletary pick. I think he's a monster. But
My favorite pick that he had on his bench is actually Justin Jefferson, the rookie from Minnesota. With Stephon Diggs gone, I think that he's going to get a lot of playing time. So that was a big move for him. All right, awesome. Let's move on. Who do you want to go with now, Tom?
let's go with Trevor this time. I'll make this one short and sweet. I gave him a C+, and I just wrote down his team is like the definition of average. It's okay. I really like Knox on his team. He has the potential to be like a weapon at tight end, but I thought it was okay. Nothing really stuck out to me.
Yeah, I got him in there at a B-. The pick that stands out to me is Josh Jacobs. I just think that dude is going to be a stud. I really like him. I believe Josh Jacobs actually went first round in our draft at the tail end of the first round, and I think that's when Trev scooped him up. I was praying that he would end up in the second round so I could have a shot at him, but I love the pick there for Josh Jacobs. John Gruden offense is going to be great. It's just going to take him a couple years to develop, but Josh Jacobs is certainly on the right track. And then I'm a little biased for DK Metcalf. He's going to have a good year. So. Kyler Murray, it remains to be seen, but we'll have to see what happens there. He's obviously got some new weapons and some new guys there, so that should help a little bit.
All right, I did. I gave him a C+, so it was on that cusp of B- too. I really do like Josh Jacobs. I think he is going to get a lot more passing work, much more points for fantasy. And I said, leave it for Mr. Old Miss to get both AJ Brown and DK Metcalf. So I think it's awesome that he did that. It just shows who he is as a funny guy. But Josh Rosen, his team name player, just got released, so he might need another third string quarterback if he wants one, but he did just pick up Tannehill, so that makes sense.
Just hope he gets rechosen, man.
All right, was there anything else to Trev?
Nah.
All right. Who you got next, Dylan?
Let's head over to our friend Josh. This is always a good one to dissect and go through. He's got a lot of nicknames on his team, which I can appreciate. I think that is very funny.
He loves that option.
That's his sense of humor. I got him right in there at the C+ to B- range. I thought the Miles Sanders pick is a very intriguing one. That's a very Josh pick. I'm not sure if I'm feeling that one in the first round of the draft though. Josh Allen, I like Josh Allen. His potential is through the roof. I think it'll be interesting to see what he does this year. I remember last year I traded a box of screws to get Adam Thielen, and now Josh has him back. So interesting pick. Austin Eckler is going to be solid. I really do like Austin Eckler. And the Walrus, Darren Waller. I look once again, John Gruden offense, man. I think that is a solid pick. He knows that I think that's a solid pick, and the rest remains to be seen. He's got the leader of men. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I like his team better than most people. I think I gave him a B. I do like the Sanders Eckler combo. I think that especially if we are getting rewarded with any type of reception, that those are two good picks to get. And I like Adam Thielen and Cooper Kupp as well. I think Cooper Kupp is going to be the better of the Rams receivers than Robert Woods. So, yeah, I really liked his team. Ben Roethlisberger has a chance to be a really good QB this year. I don't know if he has more than 2 years left, but yeah, I like the Ben Roethlisberger pick. And any rushing QB, I mean, Josh Allen's not necessarily classified as rushing, but he does rush a lot. But he's not like Lamar Jackson, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I did like his team. I gave him a B.
So no matter how hard I tried, I really wanted to figure out a way to give Josh an F just because that's our relationship as human beings. But I also had to give him a B. I think he had a really solid draft. I love Josh Allen. I am as high on Josh Allen as you can get. He is my dude. even though I don't have him in any leagues. But yeah, his running backs and wide receivers are PPR machines. So I just think he's set up really good. And I really like the Breda pick in Miami now. He's got the chance to be the lead ball carrier, and he's something else, man. I know you're going from a Shanahan offense, but dude has talent and he's fast. So
Yeah, I agree. I like that pick too. It's kind of hard. Like we all want to dog on Josh, but he actually did pretty good with this, even though he traded back from the third pick. So
I
yeah.
don't.
Solid team.
I'm not a believer in that one. I'll throw in on that. So
All right. Up next, I have Ryan Boyd, who I know you guys don't know. I tried to get him to do this and him and Tim to do this, and they're like, "Oh, I want to see how the season goes first." In order, they don't want to make assumptions on anyone without knowing. So I mean, I kind of get that. But with Ryan, I gave him a B plus. I think he picked the first QB off the board. I think he picked Mahomes before you picked Jackson, Tom. But yeah, I like that pick. And he has Zeke Elliott. He does have Kareem Hunt as well, Toledo's own, like you said. And I like Kareem Hunt. I think he has a better chance to get into the Browns offense this year because he's not suspended. And DJ Chark is like my favorite later round wide receiver to get, and he's still young. He's in his third season, so I really like his team. Like I said, I gave him a B plus.
So I had an A for Ryan's team actually. I wrote down like how do we let him draft this team? He's strong at almost every position. He's pretty young overall. He is lacking a little in running back depth, but I mean we have Elliott, it doesn't really matter that much.
Right.
Love the Henry Ruggs pick. I think he's going to be a beast. And
Yeah, I agree with that Henry Ruggs pick. I think that's a solid one. Once again, John Gruden offense. I think it's going to be great. DJ Chark Jr. had a monster year last year. It's looking really good for him. And then Zeke, of course, tough to stop. And then you got Patrick Mahomes. I mean, we don't we can't argue against Patrick. So and then he's got two on the bench. I think that's an intriguing pick as well. We'll have to see what happens down there in South Beach, but love that. I got him slotted in there at a B for the team, but happy to have you, Ryan. Welcome to the league. Hope you enjoy it.
I also saw that I think he drafted the most tight ends out of anyone. He has 5 tight ends total, but I'm not mad at any of the picks. They're all like late round guys. Noah Fant being probably the best, but Gerald Everett has a chance to be the starter. Ian Thomas is the starter for Carolina. Hawkinson you can get late because there's no one at Detroit. And Devin Asiasi. I mean, we don't know about the Patriots at all, but they all could pan out. So I hate going with that many tight ends, but at the same time, I can't really knock him for it,
Yeah, it's kind of like a rotating door, but I mean, TJ Hawkinson, like I said, Noah Fant, I think will be good. And then, you got some other guys, Ian Thomas, who's obviously going to be the guy in Carolina. He's got some solid guys, and I don't blame him for it. Tight end is a hard position to score.
Yeah. All right. I just got something that popped up on here. But, yeah, Tom, you're up to pick another team.
So let's go with the other new guy. I don't actually know his first name. Sanner, I guess. Tim. I'm not going to be as glowing as I was about Ryan Boyd's team on this one. This was a C- for me. To say something nice, he has a decent wide receiver core, I guess. You got Tyreek, AJ Green, who's questionable, Fuller, The running back situation is dicey, man. Todd Gurley doesn't have ligaments left in his knees. And Drake, is that a one-year wonder out in Arizona? I don't know. I do like the Judy pick. I'm big on Alabama wide receivers apparently, but
What'd you give him, Dylan?
Yeah, I got him right in there at a C+. Welcome, Tim, to the league. Looking forward to competing against you. I think that the thing that makes this team stand out is the younger guys, right? Like Jonathan Taylor, you got Jerry Jeudy in here. He even drafted Joe Burrow, which I think, solid, right? I think that the Bengals offense, maybe they're not there right this second, but they're going to take that step eventually. So that's the part that kind of stands out for me is he's got a young core right there. He's got a running back, a quarterback, and a receiver built in for the future. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with those guys. I certainly believe in them. But, yeah, the Kenyon Drake pick is interesting. I do think that he's good right now. But I don't know if that's a long-term option for the Cardinals. It remains to be seen. And then, of course, Todd Gurley. We don't know what to expect, really. It's assumed that he's healthy right now, but it could be next week and he could be out. And so that might pose a problem. But, yeah, Tyreek Hill is solid. And then A.J. Green, once again, big question marks surrounding A.J. Green.
Yeah. So for Tim, I got a C2. So I met these guys in pharmacy school. I love them to death, but no, he got a C on this one. I do like the Evan Ingram pick. That's a pretty good tight end. He's always hurt, but if he's healthy, he's guaranteed to be a number one tight end. And I know you guys said you didn't like Drake that much, but I'm pretty high on Drake this year. So I really like that one. And Joe Burrow, like you said, Dylan, I like that pick a lot. And the one thing with him is the Antonio Brown pick. If he ever does get back on the field, he is going to put up numbers. So, yeah. That's what I gave you.
I guess.
All right. Who's up next? Was that Dylan's up next?
Who do we got left here?
I think we got Jake and you.
All right, let's roll with Bix's team. This is going to be my week 1 matchup, and it couldn't be more excited about it. Yeah, Bix is a fun one to play against. Just kind of breaking down the team, I got him slotted in there at a B. He's got an interesting team this year, particularly a receiver, which is the position group that is glaring off the charts on his team. He's got D-Hop, he's got Chris Godwin, he's got Cortland Sutton, Mecole Hardman, and then Zach Ertz in there as well. That's definitely sticking out to me. I think that'll be a really good core, and we'll certainly take him far. He's got Philip Lindsay on the bench, which is real great. Then you got guys like Jalen Reagor. Hopefully he could stay healthy. We'll have to see what happens there. He's got Bryce Love, who may or may not be an option with the Washington football team. And then the position that kind of sticks out is quarterback, honestly. Carson Wentz, when he's in, he puts up numbers, but when he's out, that's going to be a problem. Then you got Tom Brady, who is obviously the GOAT, but maybe got another year or two left in the tank at the most. And so Bix might be looking to trade for quarterbacks here in the near future. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, the system I used did not like Jake's team whatsoever. Gave Jake's team a D+. You believe that? But I think it's because of the Fournette pick. Obviously, Fournette might not be a starter anymore, and he wasn't projected to be the lead guy. I guess he's going to split time where he's at now. So that obviously harmed him. Whenever you pick someone high and they get traded, it's not good. D-Hop, I think I'm more down on D-Hop this year just because he has Kyler Murray. And Kyler Murray, he can pass a lot, but he also runs a lot. So, I mean, I guess it's kind of the same with Deshaun Watson, but I don't really trust him as much as I do Deshaun Watson. So that's why I'm down on D-Hop. And, yeah, the system gave him a D+. I might give him a little bit higher. I'll give him a C personally. But I think James Conner, this being a Steelers fan of me, James Conner, I think he has potential to be a good year if he's healthy.
Yeah, so I want a C-. So kind of, it seems like we're all a little bit down on this team. I really like the wide receiver situation. I believe in Hopkins, not just because I drafted him in our other league, but I mean, the Cardinals are going to throw the ball a ton. Somebody's got to catch it. I mean, they have good people to catch it too. I just think he'll be more open than he was in Houston. He's going to get a lot of looks. I think it's a great pick. I think his running back core is a nightmare though. Like James Conner, if he's healthy, whatever. Then what does he have after that? There's no help coming up. He's better hope Bryce Love does something. I just think that's a real big weak spot, and that's not a group you don't want to be set as. So.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we're all down on this team. He is the eternal runner-up. He's always in the playoffs and never wins. So we'll see if that continues to happen, or if he does have to try to not tank, but get all the bad players to get all the good picks, I guess. So yeah, the last team we have left is you, Dylan. So I'll go ahead and go to your team right here. And at the beginning of the year, I know for week 1 at least, you were projected for one of the most points. Since then, I think I surpassed you. Sorry. I had to bring that up.
We'll have to see about it.
But I gave your team an A. I really like your team. Obviously with Christian McCaffrey, that's kind of a cheat code. Sorry, it's being weird pulling up. But Christian McCaffrey, Chris Carson, it's a solid RB duo. Chris Carson you can get later, and it's really good. You can get him later because he is really good, and he will benefit your team. So I love Chris Carson pick. Julio, Kenny Galladay, that might be one of the best 2 wide receiver combos in our whole league. The only weak spot I see on your starting rosters, I don't really like Rob Gronkowski as much, just because he lost a lot of weight since not quarantine, so since he retired, and he didn't really gain it back as much. And I think tight ends are supposed to be bigger, although it might make him faster. Who knows? But I don't really like him as much. But yeah, I gave your team an A.
I want a B+. I really liked your team as well. I mean, kind of like what Brian just said, your starters are solid. McCaffrey is a cheat code. The only knock that kept you out of the A rankings for me was the bench depth. I mean, which is always kind of a crapshoot anyways. Just when I scrolled through it, I wasn't super sold on some of your like depth picks, but I really do like Renfro. I think he has like Wes Welker, Julian Edelman kind of potential if you get a quarterback that wants to treat him that way.
Yeah, I appreciate the feedback, fellas. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I think that the obvious weak spot is tight end, but we'll have to see what happens with Gronk. Really just hoping, praying that he gets some red zone targets and turns those into touchdowns. Really not expecting too much yardage out of Gronk, but if he can score touchdowns in the end zone, that's all I really ask for out of him. Remains to be seen. We got some younger guys back there behind him, but yeah, stunned that Julio Jones made it to pick 26 where I took him. Just I don't even know how that happened, but we're thrilled to have him. Kenny Galladay was the 2nd round pick, and then we traded up for McCaffrey. So we'll have to see. We got the guy Russell, who we put the whole team behind. He's the man. We just got to hope that Russell Wilson has a monster year again, and the team will be in the right direction. But yeah, intrigued to see what happens. We got Daniel Jones as a developmental quarterback. That'll be interesting. And then Julian Edelman, who's kind of the grandfather of the team. Remains to be seen if he's still on the roster here by the end of the year. We're certainly taking trade calls on him, but we'll have to see about that.
Yeah, and with that, that is our show. Maybe we could find a way to put this on a podcast network or something. That'd be sweet. But
Right.
yeah, I really like this. If you guys want to come on again, let me know. And if any of you guys watching or listening want to come on, text me. I'm always available for things like these. First show in a while, and we got it down. So I'm just ready for the season to start. Thank you, fellas, for coming on.
Yep, thank you, man. Thanks for the invite.
Appreciate it, B-Mays. Yeah, good luck to everybody. Looking forward to it.